Miss Shannon here. Today we have something really, really cool. It's one of my favorite lessons to teach, and it's called life cycles. So life cycles is a pattern of how something grows. So us as humans, we have a life cycle. We're born, we're a baby, we grow and become a toddler, then we grow some more and become a kiddo, and then we grow to be a teenager, an adult, and then eventually we're grandmas and grandpas. So that's our life cycle. The life cycle that we're going to dive into and we're going to watch and explore is the life cycle of a butterfly. Right? Butterflies! So, butterflies start out as little tiny eggs. And that egg hatches into a caterpillar. And those are the caterpillars that we're going to watch. So, I have some videos and some pictures of the caterpillars and how they're growing from day one when I got them. Do you think they're small or big on the first day? Right, they're small and they're gonna grow. So we're gonna watch them grow bigger and bigger and bigger caterpillars. But what happens after they're caterpillars? What's their next stage in life? We're gonna have to find out. So let's watch some of the caterpillars and see how they grow bigger, bigger, and bigger, just like the book, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Hi friends, this is day one. This is the first day that the caterpillars arrived at my door. Can you see them? Those little tiny black lines in the habitat are caterpillars. So this habitat is where caterpillars live. But this habitat is a little different from where you would find caterpillars in the wild. So this habitat is an artificial habitat. So that means that it's man-made. It's not where you would find caterpillars if they were out in nature. So their habitat in nature, where they live, would be the grass, trees, bushes, things that have food for them. So this artificial habitat has the food on the bottom. So you can see that the cream colored stuff is a man-made food for them. So they go down and they eat that and then they grow. That's their food. It's kind of like their leaves and grass that they would eat out in the wild. But since we're watching them inside my house, they have an artificial habitat. All right, friends, we're moving on to day two. Can you see them? They're bigger. Over just one night at my house, they've moved and they've grown a lot bigger than what they were the first day. So inside of these artificial habitats, you can see that each container has its own set of caterpillars. And I counted them. There are 7 caterpillars in each container. Can you count them all? All right, friends, we're moving on to 1 week. So 1 week is 7 days. And in the 7 days, what's changed with the caterpillars? Are they bigger? Are they smaller? That's right, they're much bigger. Can you see and count all of them? There should be 14 caterpillars, but one of them is doing something very cool. It's moving on to its next stage in the life cycle. So we talked about the very beginning, the life cycle is a pattern of how something grows up. And with caterpillars, they start as eggs, turn into caterpillars, and then the next thing they go into is called a chrysalis. And inside this chrysalis, they do something very, very cool. That caterpillar turns into a butterfly. So inside this chrysalis, there will be some changes going on. It won't look like a caterpillar anymore, where it's long and has lots of legs. It's going to turn into a butterfly. So I want you to think, what does a butterfly look like? Can you see butterflies in these habitats? Right, not yet. All right, in the picture before, could you find the chrysalis among the caterpillars? It was kind of hard. But in this one, there's a little video, and the little thing that's moving in the habitat is the chrysalis. So one of his caterpillar friends is touching him while he's in this chrysalis. And he's moving and wiggling and trying to get it off of him because he wants his own space. So I want you to see if you can find the chrysalis among the caterpillars. Life cycle of a butterfly. So life cycle is a cool word by itself because it's a compound word. Remember when we do compound words? Let's see if we can do it. Life cycle. Life cycle. Life cycle. So life cycle is a compound word. And life cycle is a pattern of how something grows up. So we're talking about butterflies. And our butterfly's first stage of life is an egg. You can find the egg on the picture. All right. And what comes next after an egg? A caterpillar. And then after the caterpillar, what happens? They make a chrysalis. And inside the chrysalis, they go through a very big word. Ready to hear my big word? Metamorphosis. Let's try it. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. Which means they're going to change their entire body, their entire structure of how they're built from a long caterpillar with lots of legs to a butterfly. What's the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly? We've seen caterpillars. Have we seen butterflies yet? No. Do you guys know what butterflies look like? You can find it in the picture. They have wings and not a long tube body with little legs. They have 4 wings, a body, antennas, and 6 legs. So that's the next stage of the life cycle. So butterfly life cycle is egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, where they go through the big change, and that very big word, metamorphosis, and that chrysalis turns into a butterfly. So right now, in our journey with our butterflies, they're in making their chrysalis. Some of them are still caterpillars, but some of them have made their chrysalis, and they're going to go through their metamorphosis to turn into a, that's right, butterfly.